Hey there, it's Ben from patternprofits.net. I wanted to quickly review some of the ideas we discussed last week. Some of them remain valid into next week, so I want to go through a few of those, as well as cover a few things that happened last week. This is Digital Turbine apps. We talked about how when there's a lot of strength right after the earnings per share report, sometimes you see this pullback to the anchored VWAP. That's exactly what we got late last week. You even had a tag here on Wednesday. So we'd look for this to now turn back north, clear the volume shelf, point of control there, and start heading back upwards. Another one from last week. This one I did not take because I have a bad history with this stock, but it turned out to be a really good idea. 27.56 was the pivot. Price came ripping through there on Wednesday. We got just cleared above it, and then Thursday took off, even pushed above that prior high at 30.62. I would not be surprised, especially with how far this has come in just the last three sessions. If we get some type of flag formation up here or starts to pull back towards that 30 mark, would not surprise me at all. So we'll keep an eye on how that one develops through the week. But if you did catch this, fantastic move, 27.56, and then right into the profit taking zone of 20% gain as it cleared that pivot. We also have DocuSign. We talked about DocuSign last week. Again, this is another one right at the pivot. Hasn't really pushed through considerably yet. It did clear it by 30 cents. But 263 pivot. You have a prior high up here at 290.23. So look for a push through that pivot on big volume and a run back towards those prior highs. Amazon. We talked about Amazon last week and how that consolidation was, wearing everyone out. We did not get the support here. What we were looking for was this area that had acted as resistance to act as support as it came back. Wasn't able to clear, fell back into the pattern. But I wouldn't take your eye off of this quite yet. We'll see how it acts during the week. But there was really no trade here because it never did really bounce last week. Even early on Monday, it rolled over and then rolled over the rest of the week. Did firm up on Friday, but wasn't really a trade to be had here yet. But probably still worth keeping an eye on going forward. DBI was another one. I don't mind this setup at all. I was looking for it to come out of there last week, and it did early in the week Monday, but we got this squat and it rolled back over on Monday and then pulled back all week. However, on Friday, got an inside day. It kind of firmed right where you'd expect it to, which is where that anchored VWAP is from the gap. If you pull the volume by price over, you can see that you're sitting right on the point of control and volume shelf there. So look for this one to come out of there. These flag patterns can be quite explosive, and when you see this kind of volume, dry up as it consolidates and gets tight here, you want to look for this type of volume to come back in as it moves out of there. I click. Here's another one. Again, this one actually came out of that flag that we discussed last week, but then didn't really go anywhere. So now similar setup to DBI that I just showed right here at the volume weighted average price from this breakout. You've got the volume shelf point of control right there where it is inside day. Very easy to manage this inside day, comes out. If you took it back here, and didn't get shaken out of it, um, it didn't really do anything wrong here. So I think this can still work. And if you avoided it, it may be one you want to keep an eye on, as it had a little shakeout here, maybe got some of the weak hands out, and now can turn the corner and start heading higher. Laser, this one, Luminar, we waited patiently on this one. Finally got rewarded for it. It actually got out of the consolidation and stayed out on Friday after teasing everybody on Thursday. Now you look for 40.98 to clear. 40.98 clears, you could have a quick run to that prior high at 47.80. Don't be surprised if either of these levels act like resistance initially. So if you come up and tag that and then go sideways a little bit before the next push through, or if it immediately pushes through 40.98 or has a big move through there, don't be surprised if up here at 47.80 it flags out, pulls back, forms a kind of handle formation. That is all normal price action. So not something to be concerned about. And the reason I say that is because if you look at MP, which we discussed last week, it did exactly that. We were able to come out of this triangle consolidation, came up, but as soon as we got near those prior highs, it started to pull back. So on FinTwit, you're asking, what's wrong with MP? What's wrong with MP? Nothing's wrong with MP. It's doing exactly what you'd expect. Shaking out this overhead supply over here. You had it happen on lighter volume, bigger volume on the breakout. Again, this is completely normal action. Next, SRNE. Sorrento. If you caught this breakout, great. We talked about this coming out of this flag formation, coming off of anchored VWAP. Well, now you've got basically the exact same setup into next week. So if you were in and out of this quickly, which is the way a lot of my friends that trade biotech do it, in and out quickly, this looks like another opportunity. Maybe comes inside here would be nice, and give you easy low risk entry benched against anchored VWAP, the volume point of control. You would have an easy exit if it did fail and roll over. Last one here, VERU. This one was an absolute beast last week. What a monster move that we've had 2 weeks in a row now. So we talked about this inside day right here last week, came out of there and went right into new highs. Now we're kind of pulling back, maybe flagging out, consolidating again. Would like to see this get even tighter in here and come back, volumes easing up. Would really like to see that go a couple more days at least on light volume before coming out of there again. If you look, you don't, well, we're starting to get a little bit of a volume shelf build over here. Would like to see this build out more. It'd be a lot easier and a lot tighter to manage risk if it does that. So we will keep an eye on this one during the week, and I'll update that one on FinTwit. Hope you guys have a great week. I will be back. I've got some new ideas from the focus list, as well as some power and velocity scan ideas, so I will be back with those.